News Traffic Center. No accidents in the Lehigh Valley on 22 or 78. Berks County on 222 or 422. Schuylkill County on 209 or 309. Carter County on 248 or 443 or on the Turnpike. The 69 News Traffic Center tip line is 610 820 1111. I'm Jeff Bolden in the 69 News Traffic Center.
Good morning. You are joining the Dr. Susan's PH Live Call-In Health and Wellness Show.
Good morning and welcome to our first live show today. My name is Dr. Susan Boston and I am thrilled to be able to share health and wellness ideas, topics, tips, and strategies for your health over the next several months. I am thrilled to be here with WGPA, Sunny 1100 AM. This is an opportunity to share everything I've learned over the past many years about health and wellness, and also to hopefully engage the community in getting a little bit healthier and learning as much as you can to be healthy, because I think that's very important in today's world. Over the next couple of months, we've got some special guest lines up, and of course, when you call in, you can always get as many things answered as you can. Our call-in number today is 610-866-8074. I've got Chris here in the studio helping me handle calls, so thank you so much for being here today. And we are thrilled to talk about health. So I've put out some surveys out online, and we've talking about, well, what is health and your body chemistry? So the name of my practice is Dr. Susan's PH, and I get asked all the time, what does PH stand for in my health practice? I've had some pretty crazy answers come in sometimes, but pH stands for potential hydrogen. It's that acid-alkaline balance in the body that you have. If you remember way back, for some of you, this is throwing way back in history here, is bringing you back to 7th grade chem class. Remember where you had all those little liquids and you had those little litmus paper strips? They were red and blue, and you would dunk one in the water and then it would turn red or blue. And we were testing pH, or the acid or alkalinity of a chemical solution, or anything that was liquid. And that's what we're talking about. It's understanding that level of balance in the human body. It's basically like a swimming pool. If anybody has a pool, you know that you get your water tested all the time. You put your water in the container, you put some red drops in, blue drops in, and you get an indication of what your pH is in your pool water. And if that pool water is not in balance, putting chlorine or even having your salt solution there, if it's not balanced, all the chemicals won't work together, and your pool water is going to turn green, blue, orange, or pick a color on the rainbow. And that's the similar concept. In our human body, our cells are filled with liquid. They're filled with water. And we have to understand that that same premise of chemical balance works in the body as well. So what we do in my practice is we work to create that balance in the body so that you can achieve optimal health regardless of what health issue you are changing. Because as we know, sickness, disease, stress, that all creates an acidic solution in the body. And then that's when cells start to, they start to break down, they start to malfunction, and that can cause some health issues. So what we do every day in our lives affect our own body chemistry. So, flash forward, that's why the name of my practice is Dr. Susan's PH, because I understand a lot about that body chemistry and what you can do every day to create that perfect balance chemically in the body so that your cells get up every morning and go, hey, I know what I'm going to do today. So that's what we want to do. So that's why I name my practice Dr. Susan's PH, potential hydrogen, understanding that acid alkalinity balance and how everything you do affects your cell function. We want it to be a perfect, crystal clear swimming pool, basically. So that's what we look at. I talked to a farmer the other day, and he was like, well, yeah, that's kind of like our fields. We have to monitor the pH of our soil so that we know what crops are going to grow and what are not going to grow. So we were talking about the blueberry crop this year. And he's like, oh yeah, we have to monitor the pH of the soil all the time because blueberries need acidic soil in which to grow. So if it's too alkaline, you're not going to get a good blueberry crop. And I thought that was, so even the farmers understand that perfect chemical balance of even the soil of which we are growing our food. And that's very important. One of the things we do at our home, and we talk about pH and acid balance and alkalinity balance all the time, is we have what's called a tower garden at home, which is a way to grow food using only water. Epcot and Disney actually developed the technology. Actually, the technology was developed by NASA years ago because they were growing greens and vegetables in space using only water. So Epcot has an entire facility in Orlando where they grow everything hydroponically, and it's using only water, but they test that water every day. So now, thanks to technology and some companies that we work with, you can have your own tower garden at home. And we have been growing fruits and vegetables at home in a tower garden using only water. But still, every day you test that water to see if it's too alkaline or too acidic. And you need to know where you are within that range, because if it's too alkaline, which is like 13, 14 on the pH scale, your zucchini is not going to grow. And if it's too acidic, neither will your tomatoes. So you need that perfect balance of water. So it's testing and understanding what affects the chemical balance. So sorry for the chemistry lesson, but that's what pH balance is. So some people think you cannot work to change the pH of your system. No, not of your blood, because you want your pH of your blood to be around a 7. That's very important. But you can affect what you eat and drink so that it affects all of the other liquids in your body to create that perfect balance. So keep in mind, your body wants balance every day. We strive to maintain that natural balance all the time. Your body wants to be in what we call homeostasis. All your cells want the right messages. They want to receive the same messages. They don't want to be messed up, and they don't want to be confused. So what we try to do every day, every single day, is to have that perfectly balanced body or pool. So that's what we want to do. So what we're going to talk about today is what can you do to maintain that balance. So we talk about the amazing machine that our body is. It is incredible. Every day, every single day, your body is making thousands, 50,000 proteins, and billions of neurons are firing in our brains every day. Every day, millions of new blood cells are being made to replace the worn out ones all the time. White blood cells too. And often say, sometimes they need a miracle, but if you think about it, what happens in our bodies is pretty much a miracle every day, because it's incredible that our cells just know what to do. Every day new cells die and new ones come onto the scene, but the question is when they come on that scene or walk on stage, how do we give them the best possible supporting characters to have a happy ending every day? So I think of it like, if you think about the human body as like this great big recipe, and you need all the ingredients in the right amount for your body. If you don't have enough of one ingredient, then the others get messed up. If you don't have enough flour for your chocolate chip cookies, well, I don't think you're going to like how they taste when they come out of the oven. And every cell in our body is like that. It needs the right situation, the right scene, the right chemical equation so that it knows what to do every day. And every organ in our body thrives on a delicate balance of chemistry and a key chemical need. And when one's out of balance, sometimes your body does this crazy rob Peter to pay Paul kind of thing where, hey, if we're, calcium deficient in one area, well, it's going to pull it from somewhere else that might not need it that day to give it to where it needs it. And then the area that it stole it from a week later might have an issue. So your body has this neat way of prioritizing where it's going to steal things from. But our job is to go, well, wait, let's not have anybody steal anything in our bodies, and let's get everything where it needs to be. And it's knowing and learning that balance. Over the years, I have had quite a few crazy health issues myself, and I've learned through working with doctors and professionals and people from all over the country and the world how to learn about that balance and what my particular body needs and how to give it to you. And your body's brilliantly intelligent. Sometimes I think our bodies are more intelligent than we are. We just don't listen to it when it speaks to us. So I'll give you an example of one of the cool things our bodies do to stay in balance when we eat food. So for instance, when we eat spinach, your body knows automatically how to assimilate everything from the spinach. Now spinach gives us a lot of wonderful nutritional things, from sodium, copper, calcium. You name the periodic table of elements, and spinach gives you quite a bit. even amino acids, your right carbohydrate. Your body assimilates all of that in the exact particular method it needs to, so that every organ system gets exactly what it needs from the spinach. Now, spinach also has some sodium, which is great because you need sodium. If without that, you can't have a balance, and we don't, lack of sodium can cause a lot of issues in the body. But a lot of people think that instead of eating spinach to get the sodium, they're going to use table salt. When you use table salt to get your sodium, unfortunately, that acts like a drug in your system, and it causes water retention, adrenal gland stimulation, kidney stimulation, and it even can increase potassium elimination in the body, and you don't want to do that. So it's all about understanding how everything that we put into our mouth and drink, and even sometimes our environmental toxins, how our body receives that information and what it does. So when we eat spinach, our body's like, hey, cool, I know what to do with it. But when you use table salt, your body's like, no. And that's where a lot of people can end up with some health issues. So again, understanding the body chemistry and how that affects your health is a lot of what I do, and I try to do a lot of education to teach people on those other things. So we talk about health and health in the balance. So for those out there listening today, what does health mean to you? Have you ever thought about what health is? And we look at that, and I know everybody likes to, Google or Bing or, research things on the internet, but, health, according to some people, I actually did a brief survey on some of my social media sites, and one of them was being free from illness. That's what some people said. And other people said, being free from injury. If I'm not injured, I'm healthy. I work with a lot of athletes in my practice, and a lot of them really, they just don't want to be in pain, and they don't want to be hurt. They don't want to have a sprained ankle, so they can continue to play. So they go, hey, if I'm not injured, I'm good to go. So that's what we have. Now, some people think that health to them is you don't have any stressors in your life. So that might be your version of health. Or if you basically can wake up every morning and get out of bed and put your feet on the floor, that to you is healthy. So, but again, health, so what does health mean to you? Have you seen days where you're healthier or not healthier? Or is having a healthy day to you, meaning that you stick to your dietary goals for the day? Or stay out of, the drive-throughs, instead of, you make your own food instead of going through a drive-through. But what is your health? And it's a very important thing, because health means something different to everybody on the planet. And pending where you are in the spectrum depends on your view of health. So, and again, it's hard. In my practice, I work with everyone from babies who can't speak, to some 92-year-olds. And frankly, everybody has a different view of what health means to them during their day. So, and it's interesting when you talk to a 10-year-old, what they view as health is, I had one little kid say to me that health to them means when mommy gives them a nutritious smoothie during the day. And then when I talk to a 17 or 18-year-old, sometimes health to them is, well, today I actually had a salad. And that's their, so it really is. So think about it. What does health mean to you? And how can you be happy with your definition of health? Because what's good for you might not be good from, for somebody else. And I try to tell people that all the time, because they listen to infomercials and they buy this supplement and that fad and this fad, and this diet worked for me, but it didn't work for me. Or, I tried, this weight loss plan and I lost 5 pounds, but, my best friend tried the same plan and she gained 13 following the same plan. And that just goes to show you that everybody is uniquely different, and our definition of health changes over time. So that also means the other question we talk about with health is what influences your health. There are so many things that influence health. I had one guy tell me that nothing influences his health. Absolutely. I'm like, well, how does that happen? Like, nothing affects you, nothing affects you ever? So I thought that was interesting. But so I went on to the internet, this amazing thing that the great thing about the internet is we have one, and the bad thing about the world is that we have an internet. So, but according to publichealth.org, they have this 5-page list of everything that influences our health. So some people think that, well, is it just what we eat or drink? Is it just our environmental toxins? I have some people who live in some really toxic areas, like next to, some burn sites or next to some chemical plants, and, everything in the air affects their health. So what they do is they've split everything into like 5 areas of the world of things that can affect your health. So we have individual factors that can affect your health. So we got age. Does age affect your health? Your gender, genetics. I have some scientists who think now that genetics don't affect your health. They think that you can control your genetic reactions, called the science of epigenetics. Then they think that your behaviors can affect your health. Your diet, your exercise, your coping skills, your lack of coping skills, how much you deal with stress, how much you can avoid stress, how much you can mitigate stress, deal with stress. Then they also think that public service and infrastructure can influence your health. Education. Do you have access to parks? Do you have access to education? Do you have access to transportation? What's the economic development in your area? Do you have access to health care? Some people do, some people don't. Your living and working conditions can affect your health. And we know that a lot today. Think about all of the studies that are coming about, but all of the, the steel workers who now have different types of health issues related to asbestos poisoning and things. So we know that sometimes your working conditions can affect. And then we look at political factors, socioeconomic factors, all of those things. But we said, okay, so you have influences to your health, but the thing is, what can you do to control your health? Can you do anything? Can you do everything to control your health? And again, I think it really depends on who you talk to. So that's one of the neat things. But again, we are live on the air. So remember that if you would like to call in today and ask a question or talk on the air today, we would love to have you call in, because this is all about you and what you can do to get healthy. Our call-in number is 610-866-8074. So we have Chris standing by the lines today. But again, this is WGPA Sunny 1100 AM, and this is our live call-in about health and wellness. So what influences your health? What can you control about your health? What is it that you can do to put your life in balance? That is one of the neat things. I did have someone call me on my cell phone, Chris. I'm sitting here. I think people are calling me on my cell phone. So, hey, Linda, if you're calling in, you got to call into the radio station, 610-866-8074. I cannot answer my cell phone. I'm watching it pop up here on the thing. So that's one of the neat things. And for people who are messaging me on Facebook, hey, I can't read those messages on the air. So if you are messaging on Facebook, go to that little seldomly used app on your phone. I know you have a phone, but it's the little thing with it looks like a receiver. Some people don't even know what a receiver is anymore. That's funny. But so 610-866-8074 is the call in. I apologize for those questions. I'm not getting through Facebook Messenger right now. But again, we are on the air this morning. So that's one of the things we want to take care of. So again, we're talking about health. So what we drink, what we think, what we eat, all those things. So if you're out there, if you had to pick one thing, now that we know that health is, and there's so many things that affect your health, if you had to rate the most important thing in your health right now, the most important thing in your health, which would it be? Would it be what you drink, what you think, or what you eat? So think about that. Which one do you think affects? I don't think there is a right or wrong answer, but pending which group of people you talk to, it will truly be an eye-opening experience for you when you think about what affects your health. So, but that's what I want you to think about. So again, our call-in number is 610-866-8074. So while we wait for people to get their things in order and think about what's the most important thing to health, we're talking about health and the balance today. How do we achieve it? How do we get it? But before we go back to that and talk about, I want to give you some updates on what's happening in our community right now, because we have a lot of people out in the Lehigh Valley right now who are doing so many things to help everybody around them right now. And as people who know me, who follow me on social media, and I'm a big proponent of shopping local. I believe that it's our duty in our area to support the small businesses that are struggling right now. They're offering gift certificates. They're offering curbside pickup to keep you safe and healthy. So one of the things I like to do is partner with some of our local businesses to kind of help them out during this time. And that's what we're going to do. So I also, in addition to working at Dr. Susan Page and running a health practice, I've been working in the nonprofit sector for over 24 years. I spent years with the ACS. I helped run Making Strides Against Breast Cancer, I think for close to 17 years as a volunteer fundraising coordinator for them over the years. In the past 7 years, I've run a group called Think Pink Nights, where we do all sorts of amazing things for breast cancer. In 2019, a group of friends and I got together and we started the Every Ribbon Counts Foundation, which is a break off of Think Pink Nights. And we have been working tirelessly to raise funds to help all of those afflicted with any type of cancer. Last year, we raised over $100 and some thousand. It was incredible what we did last year to help a lot of local charities also. We funded the Wig Room at the Cancer Support Community. We helped the Lehigh Valley Pediatric Cancer Foundation with what their mission and vision is. So the Every Ribbon Counts Foundation is really working hard in our community. 2020, unfortunately, we've had to kind of postpone a lot of our events, including our Bling Your Bra charity auction. And we're hoping that 2021 is a little bit better. But we're still working to raise funds. We still have needs that come into our group. We're still trying to fulfill those needs. It's a little bit difficult as fundraising is hard during the pandemic. So what we're going to do is to help both the foundation and some local businesses stay in business. On Sunday, November 29th, that's coming up, that's right, Sunday, November 29th, there is an amazing little gift shop in Nazareth called Missing Piece. It is on Bushgill Center Road. My friend Karen Sampson owns that. And it is the most unique gift shop in all of the Lehigh Valley. And on Sunday, November 29th, we are having shopping for a cause. That's right, from 3 to 7 p.m. Now, the nice part is they are phenomenally safe and they know all about social distancing and wearing masks. So if you want to shop in person, you can do that on Sunday, November 29th, 3 to 7. They're very good at keeping you safe and healthy. But you can also shop online. We do a lot of live feeds and you can order things. They ship things. You can also do curbside pickup. But on Sunday, November 29th from 3 to 7, all of the purchases will benefit the Every Ribbon Counts Foundation, which is kind of cool. So you're shopping local, so you're saving a local business, and you're also benefiting a local foundation where we're working to, basically help all of those with cancer. So that's one of the neat things that you can do. So think about how your purchases can kind of get, more bang for your buck, basically, when you are shopping local. So again, that's Sunday, November 29th, and that's 3 to 7. And again, we'll be doing live feeds. So if you see things you like, you can call in, we can ship them to you, you can pick them up, and all of those fun things. But again, that's going to help benefit Missing Piece in Nazareth and also the Every Ribbon Counts Foundation. We're everything. And if you want to learn more about Every Ribbon Counts Foundation, you can go to everyribbonccounts.com. We are online. We also have a Facebook page, the Every Ribbon Counts Foundation. So please feel free to, check that out and see what you can do. Now, how many of you like to have fun? Now I'm seeing everybody raise their hands magically, so we got that covered. So I think that one of the things I post on social media is laughing enhances health. And it's true. Every time you laugh, you make yourselves happy too at the same time. And every time you laugh, you also decrease your stress. So keep that in mind. So one of the fun things I'm doing, which I didn't think it was going to go this viral, but it did. We started yesterday. We're doing something called the 25 shopping days of Yoda. Now, I don't know if you're a Star Wars fan. I don't know if you are a science fiction fan, but I don't know if you watch The Mandalorian. But as many people know, I am the ultimate Disney fan. I am a Star Wars geek, and I wear that title proudly. I think it is fun to kind of have that, watch something and pretend you're somewhere else. So Star Wars has been around longer than I think most of the listeners, and I think it's funny that people love it. And most of the people who love Star Wars now weren't even alive when the first movie came out in the 70s. But so what we've done is, if you know who Yoda is, he's the little green character from, Star Wars. And he now has a rebirth in The Mandalorian known as the Child, which is this cute little adorable character called the Child. I call him Baby Yoda. I got yelled at yesterday on social media. It's not the baby, it's just a child. So anyway, But it doesn't matter because Baby Yoda is now viral on TikTok. His last video on TikTok has over 40,000 views of Seek and Find Baby Yoda. But here's what we're doing. So if you want to have some fun right now and enjoy this with your children, and if you love Seek and Find, we are having the 25 shopping days of Yoda. It is on my Dr. Susan's PH Integrative Health Facebook page. This is where we're posting them. So you have to go to Dr. Susan's PH Integrative Health on Facebook, and you can go on there. And every day for the next 24 days, we are posting a picture. And in the picture, you have to seek and find Yoda. He's in every picture. I swear he is in yesterday's picture. I have so many messages coming in. He's not in that picture. Yes, Yoda is in every single picture. So what you do is, it's very simple. You go to Dr. Susan's PH Integrative Health page on Facebook. If you're on Instagram, it's Dr. Susan's PH, just the letters, Dr. Susan's, and then the letter PH. You know, I'm on Instagram too, and the two pages are linked. So every day we post a picture, and what you get to do for fun is you get to seek and find the little baby Yoda in every picture. Once you find him, you can use Editor on your phone or your computer, circle it, message the picture back to us. And what we are doing is every single day we take those answers, and people who get it correct, we're putting them in drawings, and we will be giving away prizes from both Dr. Susan's PH and the Missing Piece Gift Shop. We will be announcing every winner live on the air December 14th, because that's the night of our May the Force Be With You Star Wars event. So if you want to have fun for the next 24 days and have something fun to look forward to, all you have to do is go to the Facebook page or my Instagram page and look for the 25 shopping days of Yoda. So, and I have about 13 text messages already going, I can't find Baby Yoda in yesterday's picture. I swear he's in there. I will be going live later today and actually circling where he is on the picture, so you know. But the cool thing about this too is every picture that we've taken with him, we've hidden him in different locations around the Lehigh Valley in the stores. All of the pictures are also showcasing products that both Missing Piece offers and Dr. Susan's PH offers. So if you like some of the products and the jewelry and the home decor that you're seeing in these pictures, you can call Missing Piece and order it, or you can call Dr. Susan's PH and order it as well. So it's another fun way to showcase products and things that you can buy for holiday presents, gifts, and things along the lines. But it's another way to just have fun. So again, if you like to have fun, if you like to get your kids involved, I have one mom who is like printing out the pictures going, she's getting her kids to try and find Yoda in the pictures too. So I have one little 4-year-old right now who her mom lets her text me back, and she likes to tell me where she's found Yoda. So it's a lot of fun. But again, the fun in the world, finding ways to have fun is another way to keep you healthy. And if you can keep your brain active, that can also keep you healthy. Think about all of the different ways people right now are, using their brain to enhance their health. They say the more you use the brain, the more critical thinking skills you do. You are, it's anti-aging. So Seek and Find Baby Yoda is out there, guys. It's a great way to find fun, great way to engage your brain. It's a great way to shop local. And it is turning into, basically, I think I'm being known for Yoda. People are now sending me Yodas. I have the most insane Yoda collection in my office right now. It's crazy. But it's a lot of fun. I was in a store not too long ago, and I had my mask on, so I didn't think people even knew who I was. And I had the store owner go, do you have Baby Yoda with you? Can you take pictures in here and post them on social media for us? So I thought that was cool. But just to give you an incentive, if you want to, get in on the fun and Seek and Find Baby Yoda, the grand prize drawing for the 25 days of shopping with Yoda is a $3,000 Cool Sculpting Cryo package with Dr. Susan's PH. That's right. This is a phenomenal package. It's worth over $3,000. So if you have been looking at Cool Sculpting and looking at Cryo T-Shock, and if you wanted to lose the fat, lose the weight, lose the cellulite, here is your opportunity to potentially win a package for free. This is over a $3,000 package. So if you are the one with the most correct answers between now and December 10th, that's when this ends, and then we have 4 days to kind of go through all the answers. We'll announce the winner on December 14th. Think about, and if you win it and don't want it, you can gift it. We will allow that. That's one of the neat things. We do allow transfer of packages, which is kind of cool. But, think about you're using some critical thinking skills to try and find Yoda, using your technology skills to kind of post the answers back to us, and you could win a phenomenal prize. So it's available for everybody and everybody out there. So cool. So hey, we've got a call coming in. You are going to be live on the air with WGPA Sunny 1100 AM. So that is one of the cool things. We'll see who's going to be calling in, or if not, maybe it's someone calling in to see if they want to advertise on WGPA. So there we go. They wanted this song. So we're requesting songs here too, I guess. But anyway, think about the options you have. So let's talk about, while we're talking about the amazing package you can win, have you ever thought about losing, eliminating stubborn fat or things like that? What we can do is we can talk about why losing weight is, an important thing, which is going to segue into my next segment here, which is on weight loss. And the other thing that brings health in the balance is our weight. So everyone needs to talk about it, but we hate to talk about it, is your weight. So we're going to talk about that. Chris, do we want to break for a break? Okay, we are going to break right now for our commercial, and we will be right back after this.
Hi, this is Marty Brahman. You're listening to WGPA in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. Rock on!
Now you can check your phone, see if people are messaging you or
herbs, minerals, health and beauty products, and so much more. Queens has low prices, wide selection, friendly service, and quality products.
This week's specials include 25% off on all vitamins, including Mega Food, Natural Factors, Bach Flower Remedies, Country Life, Jarrow, Carlson. This week's organic items by the pound include almonds for $7.99, dried roasted peanuts for $4.99, dried cranberries for $5.99, quinoa for $5.99, coconut sugar for $3.99, chia seeds for $8.99, goji berries for $7.99. Don't forget, Queens has fruit and nut trays available for your shopping convenience. And all these sales are good while supplies last.
Has the quarantine 15 turned into the quarantine 30? Do you have stubborn pockets of fat that no matter what you do and how much you exercise?
then we have a 30-second weather, after the weather an ID, and then we'll be back.
FDA-approved cool sculpting to exclusive patented cryo T-shock bikini therapy, Dr. Susan's pH Integrative Health has the protocol to match you and your body type and your hormone profile. Dr. Susan's pH Integrative Health. Call today for your free consultation. 610-417-2448. That's 610-417-2448. Dr. Susan's pH Integrative Health, where you can balance your body chemistry and balance your health.
It's 9:33.
This is the WGPA Sunny 1100 AccuWeather forecast. Mostly sunny today, breezy and cold, high 41. Clear and cold for tonight, bundle up, low 18. Partly sunny tomorrow, high 50. Clear tomorrow night, low 33. Kicking off the weekend Friday, mostly sunny, high 60. A few clouds will stick around Friday night with a low 38. Looking ahead to Saturday, partial sunshine, high 59. For WGPA Sunny 1100, I'm AccuWeather's Cheryl Golden.
It's 32 degrees.
Hey, this is Dave Alvin, and right this second you are listening to WGPA, Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, sunny1100.com.
And we are back. And remember, our call-in number today is 610-866-8074. So feel free to call in with your questions. So we're talking today about health and the balance. We learned a little bit about what your body chemistry is. And we're segueing into one of the topics that everybody, they hate to talk about it. They hate to talk about their weight. There's a lot of jokes out there about never ask a woman what she weighs. It's one of those things where, you don't ask their age and you never tell them what you want, never ask them what they weigh. But it's one of the most important aspects of our health is what do we weigh and what do we do, and why is it that, why is weight such an issue? If you look at some of the statistics from the American Heart Association and from some of the other ones that are out there, I was reading the Journal of Food Composition and Analysis. Yes, I read crazy stuff like that because I believe living means learning and you gotta learn everything. And we've been told that America is one of the fattest nations on the planet, and that 2/3 of all Americans are overweight. Now that's pretty bad. That means that basically 2 out of 3 people that are overweight in some way. And according to the CDC, morbid obesity is up in the ranks of what they consider preventable death statistics in the United States. Okay, so we take all that, okay, that's pretty depressing, so what do you do about it? So the American Journal of Food Composition and Analysis did a study a while back, and they looked at all the foods that Americans were eating. And basically, okay, of all the foods that you're eating in a day, okay, let's rank them by percentages and go, okay, how many of your calories, like what groups do those foods fit into? Like of all the calories that you're eating. And they figured out that looking at everybody and everybody that they studied, 25 to 35% of all the calories consumed by Americans fall into 3 categories. And here are the 3 categories. So this is basically a third of everything that everybody's eating falls into these 3 categories. Sweets and desserts, snacks, soft drinks, and alcoholic beverages. So that's like 30%. That's like a third of everything that everybody's eating falls into those 3 categories. And the funny thing is, if you look at, that food pyramid that we learned way back in the day, the little triangle of all the foods we're supposed to eat, that's like not even supposed to be in that food pyramid, not even supposed to eat that stuff. So now I will tell you that since quarantine, I think that percentage might be around 70% for some of my friends, especially if you look at all the wine bottles in the recycling bins when you're out for a walk every day. But according to the same study from the same group, vegetables rank number 7 on the top 10 foods that people eat every day. Vegetables are number 7. And believe it or not, it's after soft drinks. So they'll take a soft drink before they take a vegetable. So here are the list of the top 10 foods in order that Americans eat, which I think this is amazing. So here we go. This is in order according to the Journal and Composition of Food Analysis. And they did this study all over the country. So sweets is number 1, sweets. Beef is number 2. Brings me back to the Wendy's, where's the beef at all those years ago. 3 is breads. 4 is mixed dishes. I'm not sure. I guess that's the casserole crew, I guess. 5 is dairy. Soft drinks is after dairy. Then vegetables. Then we have chicken. Alcohol is number 9, which is funny because I think they did this before March 13th. They did this study before March 13th. And 10 is fruit juice. So it is an interesting thing. And we were laughing when I shared this research with a couple of my doctor friends. They were like, alcohol came in before fruit juice. So I'm not sure what's in everybody's sippy cups today. But it's an interesting commentary on what America is currently eating and why. So we think about that. So, and we look at all that and we're thinking, well, why are people eating the wrong things instead of the right things? And how does that affect our body weight and our body chemistry? So one of the things we talked about is the only constant in what we are eating and weight management that I have seen is confusion. I think that's the only constant. Regardless of every group out there that wants to defend their weight loss, their diet, their fat, the only thing I've seen all over is confusion. No matter what diet or what weight loss or what food plan you're looking at, it's all crazy. So what is the confusion? Everybody has testimonials and experts, but in the end, what benefits, does the plan have? So, and
Okay. All right,
is
thank
any
you.
information, skewed? Is any information correct? How do we know what's the point? How do we find the right point out there? How do we lose weight? And how do we do it in a way that we don't compromise our health in the end? And how do we change, what the journals are saying about the food groups that America's eating? And how do we take that 25 to 35% of what people are eating, the sweets, the soft drinks, and the alcohol, and make that like 5% instead of 30%? So one of the things that we looked at in weight loss is all of the diets that are out there. Do you know how many, right now today, how many different weight loss diets are currently out there? Right now, but there's some fads right now, but how many different weight loss plans are out there? There is a magazine that typically you can buy on the end cap of a grocery store. I'm not going to mention the name, but I went through a 1-year cycle of that magazine, and the magazine comes out weekly. It is a weekly magazine. They had a different diet on the front cover of that magazine every day for a year. That's 52 different diet types. And everyone promises that you're going to lose 30 to 40 pounds in the first month. And I said, there are so many, and I'm thinking by August I was thinking, well, no, wait a second. The first 8 months of diets must not have worked because they're keep coming out with another diet every week. So why are they failing? A recent study said that most Weight Watchers clients, 86% of them are repeat customers. So they keep coming back for more. So how do we know what's going to work? That right now, currently out there are over 1,000 different diet types on the market right now that you can buy into. That's incredible. And of those 1,000, how do you know which one is the right for you? The advertising on social media is targeted to the things you click on like and things that you don't like, and they just monitor all of that, which is why the diets pop up in your news feed. But how do we know what's work? And how do we know what diet is a fad and which one's not going to work? And if you do it, you're going to lose the weight, but the minute you go off the diet, bingo, you're going to gain the weight back plus some. How many of you have ever tried a diet or a cleanse or whatever, and you've lost weight, and the minute you've stopped whatever you're doing, you gain it all back? There was a fun one out there called, it's called the 21-day diet. I thought that was funny because people would lose weight in 21 days, and the minute they stopped that diet, they gained all the weight back plus some. The minute they changed their patterns, all the weight came back plus some. Why does that happen? So what I'm going to ask you to do is when you look at a diet or look at something, you want to look at your body first. You have to understand your body chemistry and what will work for you. There's a lot of websites out there that'll rank the best and the worst diets, the best and the worst cleanses. And in the health industry, we know what works and what doesn't work. And truly, if you want a diet, it's got to be a lifestyle change. It can't be a diet. We always say, what are the first 3 letters in the word diet? D-I-E, die. So the word's negative in itself. So let's look at the word a different way. Let's look at our body a different way. But one of the diets I am going to talk about right now is the #1 fad on social media, and the #1 thing in the world is called the keto diet, K-E-T-O. Now, we've been looking at the keto diet, and one of the things that we know is that the keto diet was initially designed by a doctor in upstate New York in the early 70s. Believe it or not, it has been around for a very long time. Keto diet. Okay, so let's talk about this. Why was the keto diet initially developed in an upstate, I think it was a Buffalo hospital, by a doctor, her first name was Linda. And the reason why, the diet was discovered by accident. She worked with epileptic patients. That's what she worked with. Her goal in life was to work with epileptic patients and find out a way that they could eliminate seizures naturally, without medication, without surgical intervention. That was her goal in life. Well, what she figured out was that if you could restrict certain foods, you could change the enzymes that your liver produced. Now remember, your liver's the end all be all with all diets and all things in your life, because your liver governs everything in your body. So she figured out that if you withheld certain foods from the diet, your liver went into a state of ketosis, and it stopped producing certain enzymes that created a cataclysmic reaction in the body that eventually caused an epileptic seizure. She was having phenomenal success with the keto diet. So she was putting kids and adults who were epileptics on this keto type diet, restricting certain types of carbs and sugars, and it put the liver in a very specific biological chemical state. So those enzymes that caused the catalytic, that reaction that causes seizures stopped. Their seizures dissipated. Their seizures stopped. In most of the cases, some of her patients ended up having no more seizures as long as they stayed on this keto type diet, because it worked for them. Because biochemically, their body was prone to seizures because of genetics and other the pathways that relate in the body. But she managed to control that with this diet. Somewhere along the world of diet fads, someone decided to use keto for weight loss. Now, in a regular person who does not have epilepsy, the keto diet will probably help you lose weight. But what we're seeing now are the long-term side effects of going keto if you do not have epilepsy. What we have seen in the health and wellness industry is people who go keto will lose weight. However, after 3-4 months, there are other downfalls that the human body starts experiencing, and some of them are pretty serious. So some of the patients that we've seen have ranged from severe neurological issues, anxiety attacks, panic attacks, the inability to handle any type of stressful situation. And it's almost like when they get in a stressful situation, excuse me, now they can't handle it. Because what that keto diet has done is totally changed the chemical layout of their liver, which has then impacted digestion, it has impacted health and wellness, it has impacted their mental ability. So you have to watch what diet you choose in your life, because you have to understand how it's going to biochemically affect every cell in your body. And keto is one of the #1 fads right now, and there's a lot of controversy online. There was a study done by an American health group at a hospital in New York and New Jersey, and they even did one in the UK, where they're not even recommending keto right now, because what they're finding is people who do keto for more than 3 to 6 months, it is impacting cardiovascular function. And it actually is damaging the tissue around your heart. Now, I'm sorry, so the question becomes, pick your poison. If you're going to have a diet that's going to lose weight that might lower your blood pressure and your cholesterol, but at the same time it's damaging cardiovascular tissue, you're going to end up with problems long term anyway. So there's other ways to lose weight other than using keto. So do your research on keto. If it's one of the diets that you're following right now, I was even in the grocery store not so long ago, and they now actually sell keto approved snacks. I'm thinking no on that. If you're one prone to seizures, that's a great thing. But again, it's an interesting point. So, and I'll give you another example of how keto can be used for a health benefit, but how it can have a drawback at the same time. So there's another very interesting genetic pattern out there for women, that if their estrogen gets too high at any one particular point in time in their body during their monthly cycle, the high surges of estrogen can almost cause an epileptic type seizure. It's very rare. I happen to know about 8 people right now who have that syndrome. So we monitor their estrogen every day to make sure that, we know where their estrogen is at, what levels they're at, so we can kind of predict when a seizure might occur. So what we're doing now is, the only time they're allowed to do keto is when their estrogen is at that highest potential level in their bloodstream. So if you go keto for 7 days, we can kind of mitigate that potential seizure and eliminate it and prevent it from even happening. So we want to do that, but we manipulate that with your diet during that 7-day period. But you have to stop keto right after that. And an interesting thing is, we do an advanced biometric scanning in my practice, where we can tell everything that happens about we tell about your liver, your kidneys, it tells us everything. It's amazing. And I had one particular patient where we did keto for 7 days just to mitigate the entire potential seizure options out there. And it was funny because right after the 8th or 9th day, we did the scan, and what came up in the scan? Liver. So it's amazing how even only 7 days, how that can affect the enzyme creation and things of everything that your liver is supposed to do. So I just encourage you, if you're out there and you're looking at dieting, make sure that you investigate the good, the bad, the ugly on everything, and that you're just not following a fad. Because we know that short-term fix will give you a long-term consequence in the end, and we have to watch that. And, again, you want to pick a diet and or lifestyle that's sustainable over the long haul. You don't want to pick something that you just lose 30 pounds and then next year you gain it all back. That's the unhealthiest thing. They say yo-yo dieting is one of the unhealthiest diets you can ever do on the planet, because you mess up your pancreas, because your pancreas can't continually adjust to that influx all the time, and it just can create long-term problems. So weight loss is a very touchy subject for a lot of people, but the more you talk about it, the more you can be successful at it. And there are a lot of different ways to be successful at losing weight out there. And, and here's where I'll get personal about my life. People who, look at me, I have a funny story to tell, which is, it's crazy. I used to be a very, very, very heavy person. And, we want to play numbers. Chris is looking at me like I'm insane. Yes, I was. I think at one point, I was probably twice what I weigh right now. And it's, I had some really unhealthy habits. I didn't know how to deal with stress, and it was just, I ate my way through life. And, to me, people laugh about what they identify as. Well, at that particular time, at that point in time, I think according to the Fruity Pebbles box, I identified as a family of 10 at that point, because to me a box was a serving. So, that's just kind of how it worked. So, party of 10 coming. So, I learned real quick to lose weight, and I've been there, so I understand that emotional drama that comes with being obese and overweight. So in my weight loss journeys, I've learned a lot. I have a cardiologist to thank. I actually went to high school with him. He's out in Ohio right now. Ab, wherever you are, thank you for helping me at one point. He's the one who kind of put me in my path here and said, here, go to nutrition school and get certified and, work for me as a nutritional consultant. So it was one of those things with weight of how to lose that body weight. And I'm a runner, so I am out walking all the time. I run, if I can run. Right now I'm in a knee brace because of a fractured femur, but I was running, and that's how I managed to lose a lot of my weight. But my best friend Jolene, she's like, we're going to start walking, and she's the one who got me started on my thing. My first half marathon that I ran, I remember I was 200 pounds when I ran my first half marathon in Disney, and I thought I was skinny then. I have the picture, looking at me running through by the Epcot ball going, I remember putting my t-shirt on that day going, oh my gosh, I'm so skinny, and that was 200 and some pounds, and that was, I had already lost 800 pounds by that point. So, and I thought I was skinny at 200 pounds. So about a year ago, I run every day through my neighborhood. Run, walk, whatever. Now the past 6 months I haven't been able to run because of my leg issue. But I remember running, and my one neighbor who sees me all the time looked at me and said, you run every day, but you're still fat. And I was like, what? So that's what he said. The words came out of his mouth. He goes, you run every day, but you're still fat. And me and my sarcastic humor, again, remember, laughter enhances health, people. Laughter enhances health. So I looked at him and I said, you talk every day, but you're still stupid. So I didn't know, because I wasn't quite sure how to respond to that. Like, okay, do I get upset? Do I cry? But I'm like, no, I'm going to turn it around going, okay, what can I learn from this interaction? So he hasn't talked to me since, I think. But it was one of those things where, no, wait a second. I think I'm doing pretty good compared to where I was in my life, the most unhealthiest part of my universe, to where I am now. I think I'm pretty good, and I've managed to maintain that lifestyle of losing weight, whether I don't consider it a diet, I consider it a lifestyle change over the past, how many years? I think it's had a couple of kids in there, but yeah, it was, you learn a lot when you decrease your body size and keep it off with exercise and making the correct food choices every day. And some days it is a struggle, it's not struggle, not a snuggle, but some days it is a struggle, and it's today, you're going to identify as a serving of one, or, the joke right now on, social media is, according to Kraft, I identify as a family of 4 today, according to the box. So it's one of those fun things, but picking your right health choice for you. So if you want to learn more about why weight is difficult for you, or why losing weight is difficult for you, look, we do this advanced biometric scanning in my office. We can tell your hormones. I have another client calling in on my phone, on my cell phone. Hey folks, the call-in number is 610-866-8074. You cannot call me on my cell phone. I'm sorry, I can't answer my cell phone. You gotta call into the studio during the show. But one of the messages that came in on Facebook, I got to check during the break, was, the question was, how do you know what weight loss diet is best for you? Well, the first thing is you need to know your body, and that's what I was talking about, the biometric scanning that we do. I can do this scanning remote. I've scanned people all over the world with the scanning software that we have. It's incredible. It actually tells you what is a priority in your body, whether it's your liver, your kidney, your muscle field, your oxygen field, whether hydration is an issue for you. It also tells you whether your hormones are out of whack and whether it's your thyroid. So this scanning software is incredible for dictating priorities in your life. Based on those priorities, we can basically pinpoint for you what kind of diet and or lifestyle change will work for you. Even intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting is phenomenal right now for weight loss. I don't know if people know what that is, but basically it's a weight loss protocol in which there are hours of the day in which you are allowed to eat. Let's say 12 to 6. From noon until 6 p.m. you're allowed to eat. You fast the rest of the hours during your 24-hour period. So from 6:01 p.m. till 12 o'clock the next day, you get out the gray tape, you are not eating. You can drink water or low-calorie liquids, no alcohol or anything like that. But you fast during a very specific point of time. What's most important in the intermittent fasting weight loss game is literally your fasting window. How long are you withholding food from your body? Therefore, you're shutting down your pancreas, you're shutting down your gallbladder, your liver, you're basically giving them a break, that kind of stuff. So that is the most important thing to understand about intermittent fasting. So this software actually gives us an indication of what your fasting window should be based upon the priorities in your lifestyle. The software is amazing. It is worth, it's incredible. The scientists we've had working on this software over the past 35 years. And so many doctors now are coming on board using this software. As a matter of fact, the gentleman who now runs our company is great. It's funny, I actually knew him from years. Dean Akers is the CEO now of our company. Now, Dean Akers used to own all of the Ideal Images with all the CoolSculpting and the weight loss protocols, which is hysterical. And when I talked to him, I'm like, oh no, I've got a CoolSculpting machine. I've been working with the company, and we do freeze your fat. And he goes, I know. He goes, and this software is incredible because it actually tells you which CoolSculpting applicators would work the best on the patients, and whether or not we want to do your abdomen first or we should do your thighs first. And it's phenomenal how everything comes full circle when we want to work to decrease our fat and lose our weight and get to that healthy point in our bodies. So that's one of the neat things. So, but someone just messaged me and said, how do I know what's best for me? Well, this software scanning can help you determine that. I've worked with a ton of patients where I actually can give them their window. Are you an 11 to 7 type of person where you should eat during the hours of 11 and 7? Should you eat between 12 and 6? And is your fasting window 16 hours? Should it be 17 hours? Or are you an 18-hour type of fasting? Your age and your hormones determine what works best for you. And what works best for you might not work best for the person sitting next to you right now, wherever you are listening in. Because remember, everybody is uniquely different. I try to tell people that remember, someone might be allergic to a bee sting and you might not be. And the same applies to foods and diet plans and health plans and your body chemistry. So remember that you are uniquely different, and you need to figure out you so that you know how to balance your body chemistry, what weight loss plan is the best one for you. So it's a phenomenal thing to do. But we're getting near the end of my show. Thank you for Linda for messaging me, even though we got to get you to call in. And thank you for the other people who messaged me on Facebook. I'll try to reply to you after the show. But feel free to call in. We will be live again next Wednesday at 9 a.m., 610-866-8074. Next week, our topic is going to be one that everyone's talking about,
WGPA.
is home for the holidays and viewing your home as the workplace, and how you can juggle that working from home, living from home, and how you can manage the stress of having your work office from home. But again, this is Dr. Susan, and I am thrilled to be here. I'm looking forward to next Wednesday. If you want to ask questions in advance, you can message me on social media. You can email me. You can visit my website at drsusansph.com. There's a contact form there you can fill in. The link to the show is there. But next Wednesday, let's talk about stress management. Let's talk about working from home. Let's talk about managing homeschooling your kids from home, and what you can do, tips and strategies to keep you healthy while we've got everybody at home right now. And please note, hey, I'm here to help. I'm here to answer your health tips. This is Dr. Susan, and I do believe I need to sign off because my hour is up. Thank you so much for listening in. We appreciate you, and I will get to all the people who ask questions on Facebook, but I got to get you to call in next week. So thank you. This is WGPA, sunny 1100 AM. This is Dr. Susan. I'm signing off for today. Remember, living means learning. What will you learn today about your health? Okay, I got this.
Instead of signing off, I think it would be see you next week.
Okay.
That's the only thing I would have changed.
Okay.
Otherwise, yeah.
Oh, I gotta turn off my camera. I have the same lady called 14 times on my phone.